my team wins a big game, it's good.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the Too Much Dip podcast. My name is Dave. I'm going to host today. Joining me in studio, a man who, if he sticks his tongue out, he's doing it for a reason. It's Dylan Shivery.
I would also like to announce that if you present your fit on Twitter, asking if it's a brick or not a brick, I will answer you. So
Yeah.
come correct.
Well, unfortunately, our friend here on Twitter did not.
As one young man just learned, I will confirm a brick if that's the case. So, yeah.
I think deep down he knew. I think he knew there was a possible bricking. We're talking, of course, about Scott on Twitter. I won't give his full name, although he is public and tweeted us. But, tough times for Scott. Now, here's a guy who does this show. He does it from Wisconsin. Has never bricked a fit a day in his life. His name's KJ Ellis.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up. And it's in fact true that to this day, I don't think that I've bricked a fit, but I don't go to Dylan for my ratings. I go to, also heard here on the Wash Media Podcast Network, Club Cool. And every time the response just comes back in. And I'm like, all right, cool. Works for me. Don't know if it's an abbreviation or if it's a response, but as far as I'm concerned, no bricking, outfit's always in.
Might I suggest you check out Retail Pod?
Yeah, same thing.
Retail therapy is what it's called. Yeah.
Wait, what is the response?
I was way too far down the road.
It's okay,
Thank you.
man.
You're going to have to run that back. What was the response?
Every time they hand me a card and they're like, okay, 2023 on the end list, my name, there atop it.
Okay. Are you going to self-report your brick? That's the whole reason for this setup.
Did he brick
Sorry.
He says he did. I don't know.
something? He's rocking a
I do have to own up
now.
to something. Yeah, this is also a part of just being cold as hell here in the
Sounds
basement.
Baylor
It's like a
bullshit.
beautiful, beautiful 60 degrees and sunny here in the Midwest. All right, so jeans have been kind of passe of late. I feel like everybody's anti-jeans, at least in my friend group. They're like, I ain't owned jeans since whatever.
Pizzasse?
The Niners played in Candlestick. I don't know. It's always something people bring up. They're like, oh, I'm all in on chinos. I inadvertently purchased a pair of black chinos the other day. I don't know why. I think it was just like, all right, I've got some navy ones, got some grays, got some color, whatever. I grabbed some black ones. I put them on for the first time today, and I feel like I should be working retail. No offense, of course, but it's bad.
Yeah, I don't know if I've got black chinos in the arsenal. When I go into my closet, I do have a number of chinos. I do have a number of pairs. That is a thing that's true about me. However, black chinos, I've got black slacks.
Can I back it up 2 minutes? Did you say that we're out on jeans? Is that a thing?
He said they're pizzasse.
I don't mean that I have black jeans. I have gray jeans.
Black jeans are in.
I don't even mind blue denim in general, but I feel like there are some folks out there that are very anti-jean. I'm not saying I'm one of them, but I think it's led me to purchase more than my fair share of chinos. So many to the point that I've gotten to, I don't know, compliant at your local retail electronics store, black pants, but not jeans.
Yeah, I was trying to think what retail job one would work with black chinos, and I think the Geek Squad, you could tuck that blue polo into some black chinos, right?
Old Gene loved a good pair of good tight fitting jeans.
He damn sure did. He damn sure
crazy
did.
for him.
But because I don't go into an office, I don't get heat checked. I looked in the mirror today and I was like, I shouldn't even be going to daycare drop off in what I'm wearing. Most people don't even put the effort into getting dressed. But this was a miss. I had to own it. I had to own it here in front of you good gentlemen and the Dalai Lama.
Yeah, back to that. What's going on in Tibet?
Man, I finally watched the video. I wish I hadn't. It's extremely uncomfortable.
He just presented that tongue.
He did.
Like, hey, here it is. Here's my tongue.
And then he leaned in like he wanted it to happen. I don't know, man.
I guess I don't really know much about. I don't really have like a good idea of like the Dalai Lama's history, right? I really don't. That'll shock you. I am on my dumb boy shit today, though, as you guys learned. But so I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, he knew he was on camera. There's 100 people around. I don't know if there's something lost in cultural translation. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to spin this in the best way possible. I don't really know why, but you got to just keep your tongue in your mouth.
I'll take that a step further. Actually, you also shouldn't say to a young boy, "Suck on my tongue."
So he actually said that.
Yeah,
yeah. I guess there's really no defense then.
Weirdly, he said it right in front of a microphone that was right in front of his face with cameras on him. He didn't think it through.
With the child was also holding, I don't know how he got it, but like a photo of his own driver's license to the camera, and in one hand, picture of that day's newspaper. So there was no question about the age and lack thereof consent.
The veracity of this is
overwhelming evidence.
Yeah.
When I read the headline, the initial headline, I didn't even want to look into it more, and I kind of just gave His Holiness, as apparently articles will refer to him, the benefit of the doubt, because it said Dalai Lama apologizes for suggesting that young child should suck his tongue. And they put that in quotes. And I thought that it was like he's apologizing for telling that kid to shut up, like bite your tongue. And like that was the phrase used.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, seeing the headline, realizing that he was talking about his own tongue, and then the apology. And then I stopped short of seeing the video, but I'd heard enough.
Interesting. And what exactly is the sports tie-in for the Dalai Lama here? I guess
you guys ever seen that movie Caddyshack? Real big film
yes,
guys.
Yes.
Long off the tee, the llama.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Speaking of long off the tee, we had a battle of Brooks Koepka and John Rahm yesterday at Augusta National.
Yeah.
Only 364 more days until the Masters, KJ.
A lot of beef in that final pairing.
It was a beefy boy pairing, wasn't it?
I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, slacks were rather filled out. I'd initially thrown this on the rundown because I don't know if it was David on Twitter or somebody in the group chat, but somebody was going after Brooks's yellow shoes, and maybe it was Landry. I don't know who it was.
I did not care for them.
And I would also offer that John Rahm's were no better. Like that was an all-time bad color rush, like duel of just bad shoes at the end of the Masters. But, you know.
Yeah, not an ideal footwear matchup. But you did get, speaking of beefy boys, you did get Jim Nantz or Trevor Immelman, whoever it was. They, on multiple occasions, called them both linebackers. You know, because those guys, you know what I mean? Like, those guys clearly, they're just built like linebackers, dude. They're different. These guys are not like the other guys on tour. These guys, they want to be playing on Sundays. They could.
I think Rahm is built more like a guard, and Koepka's a linebacker.
So, what'd you like? What didn't you like about the Masters, the 2023 Masters?
I liked seeing a live golfer almost win and then not winning. I enjoyed that part of it. I enjoyed to see a PGA Tour player member win the tournament. And I'm happy for John Rahm. I do like John Rahm. The dude's got so much game, and he was going to win this one eventually. So I'm happy to see him do it.
KJ.
Sorry, I'm just checking out Scott on Twitter.
Sorry, Scott.
He's getting cooked, man. Leave him alone.
Yeah, I think Dylan's
it's a
done
beautiful
enough.
family photo. Can we establish that? Like mega cute scene with the face paint.
Far to say it's a beautiful family.
Yeah,
What's
absolutely.
What's your Twitter if people want to go look at it, Dylan?
Yeah, you can find me at dshivery, 4 E's and shivery.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
What'd you like? What didn't you like?
We got exactly what I was hoping for. And that is, Pac-12 brother just going all out when it mattered most in the Masters and taking one home for the Sun Devils.
He's Spanish.
What did KJ
He
say?
is also Spanish,
Oh,
but he attended Arizona State. Did he
right.
not?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Both things are true.
He said, sorry. I thought.
I mean, if we want to talk Thigala, we can. That might have been the highlight of my day that Jim Nantz immediately pivoted to, or whoever it was, jumped in as mother and father from India. Couldn't have said.
It's just a little.
See,
look,
Thigala
Jim forced a
from
couple
Southern
things,
California,
as he will often do. Jim was in his bag. Yes.
Anyways, I'm sorry. What did I like? I think that what I was rooting for was some drama between quote unquote Live and PGA, not so that we got more headlines, but the product was tremendous. I would have loved that. For some reason, the way it unfolded, I didn't feel that I had a good, high level view of just how many people were making a charge to make 2 through 10 very competitive on Sunday. They would check in with that, but you were getting the static 1 through 6 leaderboard, and all of a sudden Patrick Reed's up there. Oh, all of a sudden Spieth's up there. Oh, all of a sudden Mickelson's up there. And you were getting some of their shots, but that turnover was so great that because Rahm and Koepka was so captivating, we missed out on a lot of good shit.
Yeah, and honestly, Rahm didn't have a great final round. I mean, obviously, Koepka kind of fell apart. Rahm just, what did he shoot? Close to even par, I think. But he had a few guys that were further back in the pack who had good rounds.
He turned the back nine. He dominated. That's when you that's the make or break time.
He did. I guess he did finish 12 under. Didn't
he finished at 12, and Phil and Brooks tied at 8, closest.
Yeah. I guess he did have a good round, but
Phil Mickelson.
Yeah, you
but
had guys
sorry.
Guys further back in the pack had rounds. Phil and Spieth being among them. That made it seem more exciting. I mean, it became somewhat exciting, but a weird final round. Not a whole lot of drama.
Bro, he shot 69.
Sick.
What are the freaking odds?
Probably pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. What I didn't like was watching the Masters on Saturday. What I really liked was watching the Masters on Sunday. Saturday was perhaps the worst attempted viewing experience just because, first of all, I was already kind of in an allergy fog. The weather here was overcast. It wasn't great. And you could just see it. You didn't even know if they were going to get any golf in. And it was start and stop. And then you're wondering, is this going to somehow bleed over into Monday? To their credit, well, despite Patrick Cantlay's best efforts, they got it done yesterday. And KJ, you mentioned the other guys out there on the course that made their runs. Phil, Spieth. You had I don't know if you guys know this, Russell Henley, Georgia Bulldog, Georgia's own, a son of Georgia, making runs. The broadcast was very, very far behind those guys' rounds. And I know it's a very, very hard job to do it all in real time. It's obviously it's impossible to do that. But I saw somebody say, maybe it was Tron, no laying up Tron, friend of the show, so that they were 10 minutes behind. They were showing shots that had already been updated in the app 10 minutes prior. So my suggestion would be just don't look at the app. Don't just watch the broadcast if it's that big of a deal, which I learned that lesson the hard way. That being said, yesterday was exquisite. Waking up and watching those guys finish their third round was
I was going to say, waking up to live Masters coverage on a Sunday is not something we're used to, and that was a nice change.
It was, and despite the viewing difficulties of Saturday, where you had the leaders, was it Saturday they didn't have the leaders in the featured groups? Or was that early Sunday? I can't remember, but it was just what's going on here? But I don't know how I feel about John Rahm. I don't dislike him. I'm indifferent toward him. I think last year I kind of gave in to like, I'm going to have to like this guy. Otherwise the next 10 years are going to be miserable for me. And I probably shouldn't just randomly dislike a guy because I don't like his expressions on the course.
Well, I find him likable.
He's gotten more likable. He's kind of toned it down.
And plus, you guys share the short backswing thing.
You know why he has the short backswing?
Tell me.
Born with a clubbed foot. And was worried that the full backswing would throw him off balance. Just a little fun fact.
Interesting.
It is. Working out for him.
Huh. A lot of big names missed the cut. We had Justin Thomas. We had who else?
Somebody predicted Rory McIlroy on this
Rory?
podcast. I can't remember who.
Rory, of course, missed the cut.
It was me.
Did Dustin Johnson make the cut?
I think he made the cut.
Okay.
I don't know for sure.
A lot of big names were not there at the end. Scheffler, he ended up okay at the end there, but he was kind of a name that was missing Saturday, early Sunday.
Could not putt. Could not make a putt.
He
And if he would have just putted like respectably, he would have been right up there.
Yeah. And of course, we saw Tiger trying to limp his way through, and he finally had to withdraw.
Yeah, he was on the cut line at 2 over, going into, or I guess after his round Friday. Rain starts. JT and somebody else were also at 2, and he needed one, like for him to make the cut. One of those guys had to bogey, make a bogey on their last 2 holes. And JT just absolutely did it. So JT is the reason that Tiger was even in the tournament on Saturday. I don't know why I was rooting for Tiger to, I guess, nostalgia. I'm like, okay, I still like, I know him. I know he wants to be out there competing. And then when I saw he withdrew, he's like 9 over. It's like, oh God, yeah, that was a mistake. He probably should have just called it before. But thoughts and prayers to the big cat. Phil didn't see that coming.
The weirdest second place ever.
Yeah, a guy who the much maligned Phil Mickelson, Champions Dinner. Apparently, he was very reserved, very quiet, unlike years past. But goes out there, and that's a little notch in the live belt. The live guys showed up, and I don't think that's a shock to anybody. I don't think there are any serious people who thought that, oh, just because the live guys play different courses and they only play 54 holes, they're going to somehow not be able to compete in a 72-hole tournament. Like, no one really thought that.
No.
I mean, a lot of Twitter people felt like saying it, and it was relevant to one person. It wasn't relevant to Patrick Reed. Wasn't relevant to Phil, as you're already saying. And several other live guys were hanging in there consistently or having good afternoon rounds. But Twitter was abound by, probably be nice if they were used to playing 72 holes. Like,
that's so dumb, man. That's so dumb. These guys have been playing, 72-hole tournaments for their entire careers up until the last year or so. That's so stupid.
No, man, they were just out of shape. They couldn't do it. They couldn't do the last 18.
I still find myself rooting against Phil. The lift stuff, I can't get past it. I don't plan on getting past it anytime soon. I don't want to get past it. I don't wish success for those guys anymore.
I had come to terms when Brooks had his lead. I had come to terms with he's going to do this. And I was like, how is that going to make me feel? We've been very critical of him for many things. And I found him after the Full Swing Netflix doc, I found him a little bit more likable because you could see how it was eating away at him, the injuries and just him losing it a little bit. And he had some pretty interesting things to say in his post round after Thursday or Friday. I think it was Friday. About how if he had been healthy and if he'd been playing like this, then it would have made the decision to go to live a lot more difficult. Said he doesn't regret it, but I appreciate the candor. I could not believe that he didn't show up yesterday. That tee shot, that 3 1-on-1, that he just Dylan'd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's the kind of guy when he has his foot on your throat, he doesn't let you up. And it happened yesterday. He's got like the killer instinct in him. Oh yeah, that surprised me too.
Did you notice or did you hear? We talked about Nance forcing shots up. What? Who was it? Was it Brooks walking? Yeah, it was Brooks walking. I don't know what he was walking across, but he goes. Nance said, "There he is walking across this. There he is on the CW, the crosswalk." Of course, the CW, where you can find Live Golf on television.
Oh, okay. I'm just now putting that together. Was that an intentional?
No one calls
shot?
a crosswalk CW. No one abbreviates crosswalk.
If you have to explain what the abbreviation means, that means it's not one that's used.
That it sounded like something that would get said on this show.
Yeah,
It's like just a force. You're Jim Nance.
the CW.
Oh my God.
I just can't get over, like, and I've already talked about like not seeing some of the middle part of the field, but you made the comment earlier, like best not to look at the app on Sundays. I feel like that applies. I think most viewers, casual and whatnot, like kind of live on the app Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday kind of fades. But is CBS like completely screwing up not having like an ESPN type mega cast at this point? I know that in the past, like DirecTV or somebody's had where I can easily flip between all of these things on TV. It's tremendously doable on their website and on the app, but like it's lacking like the day of for general Joe Schmo and just want to pick up the remote and have multiple groups up.
It'd be great if you could download the app via your smart television.
Agree.
That would be sick.
I wonder what's holding that up.
I don't know.
Interesting. Hey, this has nothing to do with golf. Well, I guess it kind of does. It has a little bit of a Masters tie-in. I don't know if you saw where John, Jawn F. Kennedy on Twitter responded to that tweet. He said, "Bro, burn this outfit and this picture."
Damn.
It's a little harsh.
That's cold.
Got the
Can
fam
we
in
send
there.
Scott a
Lovely
shirt or
family.
something?
We will send him a shirt. Scott's just getting filleted right now.
Oh, that's the second comment he made. The first one said, tan suede jacket, green polo, untailored black pants, and dark brown loafers. This might be one of the worst fits I've ever seen.
That's John F. Kennedy.
Damn. I mean, it's a little bit more biting when it comes from John F. Kennedy.
That's a good name.
Yeah.
That's up there with Luka Doncic for sure.
We got the Jordan experience. Did you think? I mean, really? Well, I guess what he finished it. He finished one behind Phil, right? 7 under. So he would needed. He would have needed. He shot 66. Phil shot 55. He would have needed like
65.
What did I say?
I was like,
said
wait,
55.
what?
Oh no, I can't drive 55. He would have needed like a 60 or a 61. Math is hard, but that was fun. That was really fun, wasn't it? That was pretty ideal pairing for CBS to get Phil and Jay. I call him Jay together for make a little noise, some fireworks. Anything that wasn't Cantlay Hovland.
Oh, yeah. You got some beef with Cantlay.
Cantlay, the ultimate siphon. He's the new siphon. Will DeFries is no longer the siphon.
Explain.
Cantlay.
What do you mean?
Not that Hove was coming in off of a great third round, which he wasn't, but Hove is right there. I love Victor Hovland. I do.
We know this about you.
And Patrick Cantlay, who was right there, I think he started the day at 6, Victor 7. One of the slowest players on tour. And there were times where he was nowhere. He wasn't in contention. I get you want to finish top 10. You want to do your best. You're at the Masters. But looking at putts for like 8 minutes, just absurd. And to the point to where like now it's been, all the aggregation sites have run it. We got Rahm and Brooks on the tee on 16.
16.
And, Brooks knows it's over at that point. And they're just waiting. They're waiting on Patrick, who's looking at a putt from literally every angle. And Brooks wanted to absolutely murder him. He made a comment in his post round. Did you see that?
About how Rahm had gone to the bathroom 7 times while waiting.
Questions about, is he a sneaky bladder boy?
Which you don't have to air your boy out like that. Come on.
Rahm's just like,
Yeah. What you doing, dog?
Is he a fellow small bladder boy? Small, short backswing, small bladder. This guy, he might be my guy.
I've never had to pee that much on a golf course before. I pound beers on the golf course, Dave.
Dude, you guys have no idea, man.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a weird comment from Koepka. But yeah, it kind of took a long time, and it became kind of like a subplot in the whole day.
If Hove plays with Phil or Jordan, Hove wins the tournament. I'll say it.
I don't know, man.
He got siphoned. Patrick siphoned his juice. Just sucked it right out of him.
Okay. You can stop. That sounds gross now. Just stop. Let's move on.
You understand the idea of a siphon, though, right?
Yeah. Siphons suck.
KJ.
Is that a t-shirt? I need Hovland's vascular forearms to be a part of every major and golf watching engagement that I have, because I'm sorry, I just wasn't familiar with your game like that. But every time he was going up to putt, to drive, what else do you chip?
Yeah, that is the thing you do on the course.
I realize how generic like it became. The guys, sneakily got some guns in there. So whatever. That was my other thought on the weekend. It's stupid to say, but let's say Rahm falters a little bit. Like Koepka had to close things out in a very strong way to make it to make him not the biggest collapse. Not biggest collapse of all time, but you know what I mean? Like to not make it as embarrassing as it possibly could have been.
Sure.
But man, were we sneakily robbed of like a tremendous Masters if, let's say Rahm finishes at 10 under. What was 8 under was Brooks and Phil. Let's say it was a 2-shot lead instead of 4. And I don't know.
You wanted more drama on the back.
But I would give up seeing morning time big mittens golfers at 6 or 7 or 8 a.m. or whatever the hell it was for more drama in the afternoon, like to have like that going on.
It would have been had Brooks been closer going into 18, where Rahm had to hit a provisional, which is always not what you want to do to close out a tournament. But hey, he had at that point it wasn't really a big deal.
Yeah,
he had amassed a big enough lead. Started the week off with a double bogey, famously 4-putt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he blamed it on his buddy
Zach Ertz.
Just
casual name drop at the Masters ceremony.
He says jinxed him.
Oh, Julie's husband.
How about the trees falling on Friday?
I honestly had forgot about that. That's crazy.
Fucking wild.
Yeah.
The trees falling, and also Victor's shirt on Thursday. We have not discussed. I am a fan of what Victor pulled out on Thursday. Yeah. I liked it, and I'm not just. Great. I know he bricks fits occasionally, often actually.
He bricked a Sunday fit. That QZ was pretty awful.
When he ditched the QZ, it was fine.
Looked like he was he was on a construction site or something.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
We got a lot of listeners who do construction.
But they typically change to golf course appropriate attire when they're on the golf course, I would think.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Whoa.
Okay.
I mean, given that, I agree it was kind of soup's cash, the quarter zip look, but wasn't Couples just out there in no collar at one point in the day? Like just a straight up sweater?
Dude, Freddie's the big swinging D out there.
Swag just dripping out of his pores, man.
Just out there.
Well, he can get his 63 dripping ass taking his 9 over day home with that shit. Like, give me a collar. You're offending my eyes. I don't
think he was 9 over.
Tiger is the one.
That was the cat.
Tiger's the one who brought the mock collar to golf.
Yeah.
So if you got beef, you take it up with
Fred
him.
Couples had a college sweater on, basically.
That's
pretty
it.
sure.
You got to respect
it.
That,
Just
though.
said college.
You're just mad because he wasn't wearing black chinos.
Fair. I am in no position to judge. I'll have to look it up. But yeah,
Butler
all
Cabin.
in all, good shit.
Butler
I didn't
Cabin
like
was fun.
that. It's never fun.
Yes,
Although, can we talk fucking Sam Bennett's facial hair real quick?
We should talk Sam Bennett in general. The low am, the Aggie. I don't know if you guys know this, but Sam
Do you
Bennett has
think,
a goatee.
Do you think Sam Bennett's goatee is going to have a Bud Light anytime in the near future?
Okay. Just his goatee, we're disassociating it from the actual person. Probably, if I had to guess, most goatees aren't drinking a lot of Bud Light, just based on what I know from Twitter avies.
I want to like this kid, I really do, and I'm trying to get past the goatee. He's got to fix that swing before his back just gives out on him by the time he's 25 years old.
Did you see the news on our guy who also is a fellow
Zalatoris.
torqued back at an Impact guy?
Yeah.
Zalatoris having back surgery, out for the year.
Not good.
They are in a I'm not a golf swing analyst guy. You guys know that. But if you look at where they're at Impact, it is a very unstable side bend.
It is not sustainable.
No, and God, I hope this isn't the end of Zalatoris because I genuinely like the guy.
Sam Bennett's got game. Like he's a good little golfer. I just worry about the longevity there.
That's big of you because you're saying that as a Longhorn fan.
As As a Longhorn fan, I don't want to see this guy's back give out on him.
Yeah.
Right.
How'd you like his Butler Cabin appearance?
I didn't catch it, if I'm being
You didn't watch Butler Cabin, the most electric 8 minutes in golf?
Nah, I missed it. Was it awkward as usual?
Scotty didn't say a word, which I guess isn't that crazy, but as soon as he put the jacket on Rom, they left the camera on Rom as he's like, straightening out his arms, and Scotty just ducks out from the back. You saw the meme. We did a meme on Too Much Dip. Follow us on social.
Great work, by the way. Like the transition from, hey, I think we should do something to, I'm not sure about this, to doing numbers was just beautiful to see in real time. Congratulations.
I'll pat myself on the back. I haven't had meme brain in a while, but it hit me yesterday and I was like, you know what? This is it. And it did well. Check it out.
Wouldn't say you won the internet, but you finished top 10 on the internet yesterday for sure.
That was epic.
Frat on, good sir. Fogs. What else? Anything else on the
Butler
the
Cabin?
Masters?
I'll real quick say Butler Cabin. Like the amount of sit down BS we had to sit through on Saturday, which I didn't. I was out smoking those meats. I think having so much of that Saturday made me way over it on Sunday, but because I just had no motivation to change the TV, I observed a reasonable amount, and like there's nothing that can be done to fix that. It just doesn't need to occur on TV. I know people would fall over if they didn't have this like 10 minutes of television, but like it's just bad.
Whoever pointed out that everything from like the chairs to the decor and to Jim Nance's tone is just reeks of like funeral home is absolutely accurate.
It's just so stuffy in there.
Mr. Chairman. His name's Fred. You could call him Fred.
He doesn't even announce himself as chairman. Like whenever he opens up the Masters, which, I do watch the opening, what do you call it? The opening tee off, whatever. I watched that at least once or twice
beyond the tees.
Masters weekend.
Shut up, dude.
But he'll say, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Fred not Couples, whatever his name is. And on behalf of Augusta National, I'd like to welcome you to the Masters and then introduce everybody and says they're open. He doesn't throw in his own title. So for them to be like, Mr. Chairman, as they're shooting from outside the tiny home, like I feel like I'm watching my kid play at like a museum playhouse and we're just watching from the window outside.
It's Fred Ridley. And yes, he is
Ridley,
Voldemort's brother.
I got a question that no one's ready for. Does the Masters take it? Does the Masters take itself too seriously?
Yeah, but that's yes, 100%. That's why it's great though.
The way that this sport, in particular, this tournament, like gives respect to the legends of the game, it's a little much for me. It's a little much. That's all I'm going to say. It's a little much.
Dylan, I'm going to ask you a question. KJ, I'm going to let you think about your answer before I ask you. Is the Masters the most fuckable major?
Yes.
KJ. You've had time
It
to
doesn't
think.
have the word open in the name, so no.
Okay. Anything else on the Masters? It does. Yeah, Dylan. Yeah, it does. It does. It is up its own ass so hard.
It really is.
But
like they just keep dragging these old bag of bones out there to hit a 120-yard tee shot.
Okay.
And it's like
you're talking Mr. Player.
Man.
Poor Jack.
The kick is pretty cool.
The kick sucks. He's the worst.
I saw, and this wasn't posted. I don't think this was posted by the Masters, but someone posted a video montage of Jack Nicklaus's swing throughout his career. So it started when he was like, in his 20s, and then showed his next one like 2 years later, and then all the way up to like 2022 when he's just like,
yeah, he's like old. He's like an old guy.
You could have stopped at like 99.
Yeah.
We didn't need to see the rest of these swings. Like, he looks terrible now.
Yeah. It's unnecessary.
I'm sorry.
It's the reverse evolution of man. It's just like, slowly devolving.
Like, yeah, he's hitting it like 290, in his 20s. And then it's like, you just, the old man punch out there with a driver. It's like,
yeah, he's still poking it out there pretty good, Bob. Pretty good.
Okay.
All right. I think we covered everything.
All right.
I'll see you boys at in Australia for the next live event.
Is it? No, I think it's. Where is it?
I don't know.
I
have no idea.
We'll have to check in on the CW. I don't know, but I would like to talk about our good friends at Rocket Money. Do you know how much your subscriptions really cost? Do you? Most Americans think they spend around $80 a month on a subscription, or on subscriptions total, excuse me. But the actual cost is closer to $200. That's crazy. If you don't know exactly how much you're spending every month, you need Rocket Money. Rising prices stressing you out? Yeah, hand up right here. Just had a look at my insurance. It went up. Thank you, Rocket Money, for letting me know. If you're looking for ways to cut costs, you need Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Over 80% of people have subscriptions they forgot about, and chances are you're one of them. Dylan, like that Stars app, just to watch one show. We've all been there. You ever downloaded an app, said, I'm going to pay for it, but I'm going to delete it when I'm done. Then you forget.
I have. Not using this app is it's just leaving money like on the table, really.
Rocket Money quickly and easily finds your subscriptions for you. And for any you don't want to pay for anymore, just hit cancel and Rocket Money will cancel it for you. It's that easy. I did this with a newspaper subscription. I don't want to name names. I don't do that. I love journalism. But I noticed I was paying a lot and I wasn't really reading the newspaper. So I used Rocket Money to cancel it, and it was just a click of a button. Over 3 million people have used Rocket Money, saving the average person up to $720 a year. Stop throwing your money away. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/bang. That's rocketmoney.com/bang. Check it out, rocketmoney.com/bang. What's going on in Minnesota?
I saw that tall Frenchman throw a punch.
The tall Frenchman. I mean,
Really?
that's what he is. But
He's very tall, and he's from France.
Rudy Gobert throwing a
COVID creator.
shoulder/chest punch on the bench to his teammate Kyle Anderson, who I believe called him a bitch.
Ooh. The shoulder punch, though, far less egregious than a face punch. It's like, I'm not trying to fuck you up, but like, you need to know you can't call me that.
You know, there's that time in like, it's before puberty, but it's it's maybe like 5th grade. I don't know when you hit puberty. You don't have to tell us, but when you and your friends fight, and like you actually get in a fight, but you don't hit in the face because like you just don't. You're scared to hit somebody in the face. That's what it looked like.
It's a level you can't come back from.
No, face hits don't start till like 7th or 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
Well said.
The reach is like just a sight to be seen. I have to admit that I looked up multiple times images of Dalsim, and I felt like all of them were way too like reductive, insulting, and like culturally probably problematic. That being the Indian gentleman from the video game Street Fighter. Just wanted to make sure, that wouldn't have been a fair assumption to make.
Yeah, crazy reach.
I mean, the craziest, like unfair.
Of course, that then led me to like Miss Incredible. And then I was like, okay, I'm way off the beaten path. And while I'm here,
Yeah.
I never got back to thinking about basketball.
Got hot in there. You had to take your jacket off.
Exactly. It was a train wreck of like a day for the Timberwolves, because then they followed up with, as you said, you've got here, Jaden McDaniels, a name I was definitely not familiar with on Friday, punched a wall and broke his hand like in the third quarter or at halftime or whatever.
Legit defender, Jaden McDaniels. And keep in mind, they aren't missing the playoffs. They're in the play-in game. They have to play the Lakers in the play-in tournament. And Gobert he's out for that game. They've suspended him one game. Their massive offseason acquisition. They traded the house to get Rudy Gobert up there, pair him with Cat. And I have to say I am taking a little bit of joy in this, because not because I have anything against the Timberwolves, I really don't. They seem like a nice franchise, but because it takes the heat off the Mavs dumpster fire. So I want to say thank you to Rudy, to the drywall, to Jaden McDaniels, for taking the focus off Luka potentially being unhappy and wanting to leave to what the fuck are they doing in Minnesota?
Chris Finch is the name of the head coach. I didn't realize they'd moved on from, I guess I did because the other guy's in New York, but yeah, wasn't familiar with him. But you got to think, if they don't win here, maybe he's not your head coach. This doesn't seem to be going well on his watch. It ain't like they got a lot of respect for him.
Kyrie gets a lot of shit, right? A lot of it earned for taking down the teams he's on. Now, granted, Rudy Gobert was in Utah for a long time, but he, I think, was the catalyst in that whole thing falling apart. And
breaking up with Donovan Mitchell, for sure.
The breakup with Donovan Mitchell, them getting both those guys out of there, and then now he's in Minnesota. Got Anthony Edwards. Got a good roster, not a contender, but like they could make some noise. But at some point, it's like, why? What is it about Rudy Gobert? Is he just annoying as hell behind closed doors? I mean, he had the COVID thing, the patient zero, fake coughing on the team, and was kind of much maligned for that. And it's like he never got over it.
Yeah, it was a quick fall from grace. I don't know if you want to call it karma or whatever. It's silly to look at that like revisionist history would say karma. Dumb in the moment, but he didn't know what the world would be 24 hours from then. And everything since then, like you said, aside from getting paid, I just looked it up again, 4 or 5 years for $201 million by the Timberwolves. It's been a rough go. Can we put the Mavericks to bed? I put it in sports party because I did not see them explicitly listed on this rundown. But when we left this show last week, there was a sliver of optimism. We didn't talk about it, but I believe your line was you were aware they had to win out and that Oklahoma City had to win 2 of 3. And things changed.
They had to lose. Oklahoma City had to lose, I think, 2 of 3, and they lost.
I'm sorry.
They lost that night, and then there was still, their last game was against the Grizzlies, who had nothing to play for, already locked into the 2 seed. So it was unlikely. But, yeah, the Mavs would have to win out. Luka's saying, I'm not tanking, blah, blah, blah. And then they tanked. They let Luka – they sat everybody. They let Luka play the first quarter and then 10 seconds of the second quarter because it was Slovenia night at the Mavs arena. And, he didn't get to play last year on Slovenia night because of injury. So they trotted him out there, and they almost fucked up the tank and won that game. Lost by 3, and then they got absolutely trucked playing nobody last night in San Antonio, who also is actively tanking. And now you got the league investigating the Mavs. It's kind of rich. I guess maybe it's because they were so obvious about it, but Portland's obviously been tanking this whole year, like the last 2 years, really. San Antonio doing the same. So I don't know, man.
Yeah. Popovich said at the beginning of the season there was 0% chance they would make the playoffs. On record saying that. They were not positioning themselves to win, but they were always respectable in most games, even in this one. The Mavericks issue, as you said, like they explicitly stated Monday or Tuesday that they were going to play until there was not a chance. Luka doesn't want it differently. Jason Kidd was on record saying they were going to continue to try to win. And then the night of the game, or the day of the game, they announced Kyrie's sitting, Christian Wood is sitting, and 3 other stars. I think Dwight Powell, blah, blah, blah. And Jason Kidd goes out before the game. It's like, well, the organization decided something different. This is what we were told, and now we were told different. And it all makes sense, I think. It's justified from an analytical standpoint, blah, blah, blah. But damn, it was not a fun 72 hours to pretend you were a fan of that organization.
The fact that it coincided with the Masters kind of was pretty huge for me because I could focus on that and not just the whatever is happening in Dallas. Thank God the Stars are poised for a cup run. We'll see. We're going to have Cold Stove's Brett Merriman on next week, a week from today, to break down the NHL playoffs as they kick off next Monday.
That'd be exciting. Talk a little puck with the boys.
Talking puck with the boys. The boys, of course, being us and Brett. And Randy, if he wants his mic on. He can talk some puck, too. He doesn't. He's shaking his head.
Maybe we'll talk a little bit about the manager of the new NHL regular season's win record, Jim Montgomery. I didn't realize that until 2 weeks ago that he was the Bruins manager. That's a story we will have to talk to him about for sure.
Monty. Good dude.
Yes.
We will continue to monitor. We've got the play-in tournament starting tomorrow, which it's really weird watching it without having a team involved, but I can now just do it and actively root against teams and take joy. For example, if Phoenix were to somehow lose, I will take a lot of joy in that. I don't think they will. I don't think Paul George is going to be back, but they got the Clippers, and that's going to be a fun series either way.
I would probably start with the fact that you're getting Durant, Westbrook going against one another. And, Chris Paul, Clippers has been seen, but it'll be fun. Fun series. For the play-in games, real quick, Hawks, Heat, don't care. Timberwolves, Lakers. I hope the Timberwolves somehow still win that game. All of a sudden, they're my team I'm picking to win because Anthony Edwards is tremendous, and I just want to see this charade continue. Bulls, Raptors, Thunder, Pelicans, which Nick Nurse, I feel like, has already basically said, he ain't going to be there next year. So, again, I want more chaos. Give me the Raptors.
Can't wait.
I'm not saying go pick teams, but that's who you have in the next couple days.
Facts. Guys, I want to give a shout out to our good friends at Shady Rays.
Ooh.
Did you see me wearing them at the birthday party Saturday?
I did.
I was rocking my Shady Rays. What's worse than buying a pair of expensive sunglasses and losing them right after you get them? I don't know, maybe breaking them? Not for me. Not since I got Shady Rays. Shady Rays makes high-quality sunglasses that are just as good, or in my opinion, even better than expensive ones, and Shady Rays are a fraction of the price. I recently got a few pairs. They look cool. I went through and I put them all on. I asked Alyssa, be honest with me. Do these fit my face? I'm a little self-conscious about sunglasses. She said all 3 of those look really good on you.
I copped the they're not like true aviators, like a version of the aviator. They're kind of more squared off.
Sure.
Took a chance on them. I've never owned sunglasses like that. Absolutely love them.
They look good. They're durable, too. Built to tackle all of life's outdoor adventures. Their styles are timeless and on point. They make us look good. Plus, all Shady Rays have, Dylan, polarized lenses for crystal clear vision and strong sun protection. That's the real test of a good pair of sunglasses. You're a big polarized guy.
I am. Yeah. I don't like glare. You're out of here, mister.
Bye, glare. Speaking of strong, here's why I don't worry about losing or breaking my Shady Rays ever. Every pair of Shady Rays is backed by their industry-leading Lost and Broken Replacements program. Break or lose your pair the second you take them out of the box. They'll send you a replacement pair, no questions asked. Shady Rays isn't happy unless you're happy. That's why they give you 30 days to try them. And if you don't like them, you can exchange or return them for free. With every order, Shady Rays Impact Program works with nonprofits worldwide to make an impact on the lives of children and young adults. like building play sets for pediatric cancer patients and creating adventures for young adults with cancer and MS. You and Shady Rays are making an impact together. Check it out. What's better than getting one pair of Shady Rays and not worrying if you break or lose them? How about getting two pairs of Shady Rays? Go to shadyrays.com/bang and use code BANG. For a limited time, when you buy one pair of Shady Rays, you'll get a second pair free. That's shadyrays.com/bang, SHADYRAYS.com/bang, code BANG to get a second pair of Shady Rays free. shadyrays.com/bang, code BANG.
Every pair of Shady Rays. With their industry-leading replacement program, you get them back for free, even if they break.
Wow. Was that everything you say to me? Push me one step closer. Is that what that was?
No, it was a Shady Rays jingle that I had it on the board. They sent it to me. It's professionally recorded.
No,
I forgot
didn't.
to put the music under it.
There's no way. They're not doing a Linkin Park Shady Rays matchup. I hope they're not still listening. I know you guys are just glued to UFC 287. What was your favorite part? Go ahead, guys.
My favorite part was when Stylebender mocked his opponent's son, much like he did to him a year before.
No, years before.
Oh, years before.
Way back in the day. Like back when they were they were just kickboxing, Glory Kickboxing.
How old is this kid now?
I think of age. I don't know if he's of the age to get mocked.
Sure he is.
But if he was a young lad when his dad knocked out Izzy in Glory Kickboxing, like you said, and he collapsed in the ring next to Stylebender, kind of making fun of him because his daddy just knocked him out. And then after Izzy knocks out Alex Pereira, gets his revenge, Izzy points him out in the crowd, and I saw him do it, but I didn't know who he was pointing at, and then drops down, and he got his lick back.
Pretty funny.
Pretty funny. Stylebender is one of the best characters we have in the UFC. And I was happy. I was extremely happy for him. I'm extremely happy I purchased that card because, God, there was a lot going on.
You had a lot left in the sports tank at the end of that day?
Yeah, I did. After the Saturday viewing of the Masters, it was very nice to have something to fall back on. But we had the Orange Man sitting ringside with Dana.
What a crew.
Kid Rock, Mike Tyson.
What a squad.
Where was this? Was this Vegas?
This was actually in Miami.
Miami. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
I did see. That's why Miami Dolphins head coach
Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel was there talking to Aaron Donald.
Orange Man looking extra orange.
He was. The lighting had him very, very Cheeto-y. But yeah, that is still, even though we've been through 4 years of it, and like we obsess over the Trump era, like it's still really weird seeing him cage side. Even though he was before he was president, he was always sitting first few rows during prize fights, boxing fights. But he's cage side next to Kid Rock. Chat, you can watch him just during the fights. If you just look in the background, just having a conversation with Kid Rock, and you're like, it's so distracting because you're like, what could they possibly be talking about?
Bud Light.
Probably Bud Light.
Yeah.
Kevin Holland, Fort Worth's own Kevin Holland, had an impressive knockout. Hops the cage. I sent this photo to the group because it just cracked me up. Hops the cage to say what's up to Dana White and Trump. And it was kind of aggressive, and I was like looking for Secret Service in the background because the way he hopped down there, it was very like, not that he was going to do anything, but the Secret Service, it's their job to freak out over anything, right? So weird. And then you had Miami's own Jorge Masvidal, Cuban Jesus, as he's known, lose his fight.
His final fight, right?
His final fight, retired.
38.
And got a Let's Go Brandon chant started, and the crowd obliged. So we had UFC 287 chanting, "Let's go, Brandon,"
with the Orange Man.
With the Orange Man feet away.
Did he participate in the chant?
They didn't show him. That's a real big miss on ESPN's part, on the UFC's part, because I mean, we got to know. I want to see. Look,
he probably gave one of these. You got to watch the video to see what we're doing, folks. It's a hand gesture.
What if he just did like a subtle roof raise? Has Trump ever raised the roof? That's good. KJ, you got it down.
He goes with the like miniature fist pump dance all the time. So I'm sure those palms have been opened up at times.
Yeah, Randy's
absolutely.
Got it. Yeah, I think it was an electric card. Is he doing what he did when last time they fought? So that's the fourth time they fought. 2 times in Glory Kickboxing, and this was the second time after Izzy got stopped by Alex last time. A fight that Izzy was winning, by the way. It was cool seeing him get his revenge. There's gonna have to be a trilogy fight at some point. Although,
did you feel like Izzy was, again, watching this like a loser via like replays and the fight cast, which is always difficult to follow because I love that they add, like they count punches and the location, significant strikes, all of that, and damage to certain areas. And just quote unquote looking at the fight cast initially, like Izzy had taken like 30 or 40 leg kicks.
He was getting that leg fucked up. That's a problem.
And the communication via Fightcast was like Pereira was he didn't have many minutes or seconds logged of control per se, but he was outstriking by a large margin Adesanya. So
yeah, first
I couldn't tell. And then you see the end of second, wait, nope, knockout goes final. And I'm like, okay, let me go back and watch the replay.
Yeah. Anytime you see a guy, especially a guy whose like main bit is striking and his lead leg is getting calf kicked into oblivion and he's not even really checking the kick, then that's a real problem because you're compromised and maybe you have to switch stances and fight southpaw. Izzy kind of played possum, he said, went up against the cage. Pereira, I'll just call him Pereira. I don't really want to. I can't do that. It almost feels offensive me trying to pronounce it correctly. Landed a pretty nasty body shot, and then Izzy just got him, man. Izzy got him. It was great to see. It's huge for the UFC. I don't know what's next for Izzy, but it's good to have him back on top. He's one of the best characters they have. With Conor being whatever Conor is now, like Stylebender's a guy you want out there promoting your company. So he got the belt back.
Potential presidential candidate Conor, Rory, that is. Last thought on
that is so forced. That is a forced Succession reference.
Sorry, man, my brain's on the best episode of all time.
Okay.
My last thought on the Trump tie-in here, was he present through the end of this?
Yes, I believe so.
Like that deserves like an applause in and of itself. This is an East Coast. Granted, he lives in Florida or whatever, but that fight finished at almost 1 a.m. or whatever, midnight Eastern time.
It's the Adderall.
That is not that is not an easy thing. And having DJ TJ right behind him, like fully dialed in and amped up, ready to go, like that's fitting. He was clearly engaged, but my old ass would not be able to stay. Maybe it's just the adrenaline and the testosterone of being ringside by Kid Rock, but I don't know that I could do a 1 a.m. card wrap up and having to make sure you're not getting memed as frequently as you probably still are. That's a lot.
So I'm going to finish this out by combining this segment with the sports party because there is a tie-in. Because also at that game was OBJ at the match, excuse me. And OBJ, as we saw, was partying afterward with Stylebender at Club Live with Lamar Jackson. And then we find out the Ravens signed OBJ. So it all comes full circle. Even though I don't even know if Lamar is going to be playing for them. I don't really know where that's at.
Booty Chatter says that Lamar recruited OBJ to Baltimore. So that would indicate he's going to be there at least one more year.
15 mil for OBJ?
I saw 18. Is it 15?
I know there's some incentives. Either way, like
he's old and he's coming off that ACL.
Didn't play it all last year.
He only went the first 2 days though.
Okay, that's a Austin City Limits joke.
Every time I can make it.
It makes me pretty happy that the Cowboys didn't bite, if that's what his asking price was.
It's a lot.
Odell Beckham, 30 years old.
Okay.
DeAndre Hopkins also 30, but like Dylan said, no ACL injury. So yeah.
And a year off football.
Dylan, since we're partying and talking sports at the same time here in this sports party,
Mm-hmm.
did you see who was working out with Bijan today?
I did in Austin. Do you know that part of it?
I did not know that.
Yeah, probably at where our buddy goes.
Ah,
Probs.
we're talking Bijan, Micah Parsons.
And Micah Parsons worked out together today. Yeah.
No,
Oh,
there's a lot of people work out together. It doesn't mean anything, but it is fun to watch the Twitter, the content aggregators. I like saying that. It makes me feel like I'm above them, but I'm not.
Why didn't Micah just take him to a Mavs game like they did the last Cowboys recruit?
Who's that?
OBJ and all of the defense for some reason hanging out. So we're continuing the theme of Micah Parsons, like an offensive player
I got
hanging
you.
out with a defensive player.
I thought you were
when
trying
they
to
had-
make a Michael Weiner joke.
No. Do you not recall
I
OBJ
do.
like fully getting courtside
Trevon
with
Diggs.
Trayvon Diggs?
Yeah. You're right. I apologize. Moving a little slow today, guys.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Just thinking
Traumatic
about the
episode for me.
Masters. Just thinking about the
that too.
Masters. I think we should run it back. Unless you guys got anything else you want to talk about at this
Bijan
party.
Bijan won't be there at 26 though.
Oh,
Yeah, let's run it back.
oh,
A
oh.
segment during which we talk about what we already talked about. KJ purchased black chinos. Some folks out there are anti-jeans. Not old Gene, though. Dave continues to be on his dumb boy shit today. A lot of beef in the final pairing at the Masters. Dylan enjoyed seeing that child get mocked after the Stylebender fight. Kid Rock and the Orange Band discussed Bud Light ringside at UFC 287. Dave gave up on the proper pronunciation of Pereira. And cocky Dylan said Bijan won't be there at 26, then exhaled rather arrogantly. I didn't write that last part.
You were a little cocky issuing that line. You have to admit.
And KJ says 9/11 jokes not allowed during the Masters in the group chat.
We didn't know what you were. I didn't
Yeah, I was-
understand it.
I still don't.
I side
still
text
don't
Landry.
understand it.
I literally side text Landry. I was like, what am I missing?
KJ's
I'll
the
just let
king
the people wonder.
KJ is the king of making references that just go way over my head.
I may send you KJ. I'm gonna send you a meme. Actually, you know what? We're gonna tweet a meme from Too Much Chips.
No, that's exciting.
It's a very niche meme, and it'll probably get 8 likes. But you know what? 8 likes is better than none.
All right, fun stuff,
Do the
guys.
show for the people doing the show.
Uh,
Thank you, gentlemen.
yeah. Shout out to Scott on Twitter for putting himself out there and
Being
acknowledging,
brave.
like, look, I might have bricked this fit. He was kind of the main character today. I may have to have Cool Adam do a clip just on Scott. I don't know. He may not want like his family out there like that, but he did. Tweet it.
Scott, DM one of the show accounts. We'll send you a shirt or something.
We're gonna send you a shirt, Scott. I hope you listen. Until next week, when we will talk hockey and other sports.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I want my chips with the dip. That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.
When my team wins a big game, it's good. But when my team doesn't win the big game, you better look out, Buster. I'm a loose cannon. This is not good at all.